Didn't I tell you something about saving up the money and buy the gear you want in the beginning? Now I did it myself. I saved up some money, bought myself a versatile lens to my Sony camera. And in my mind, if I want to do vlogging like this, when I walk and talk, Pocket 3 is the perfect camera for that, or even the Osmo Action 5 Pro. But I wanted a more versatile lens than my Tamron 17-28 f 2.8, a great budget lens. But this is the Sony 20-70 f4. You might thinking, why do you buy a f4 lens? Because I have a Sony camera, I have the Sony ZV-E1, which has this ISO at 12,800, and it will be working in low light. Okay, so here I have the 20-70, maybe not the widest lens out there, but I have my 17-28 from Tamron at home. But I need a little bit more versatile lens where I can zoom in if I want to get to 70mm. And I still want a little bit of wideness. So I did my research on the internet, on YouTube, on a not the cheapest and not the most expensive one. I was looking on the G Master Mark II lens, but that was a little bit too big and heavy for my taste. This one is a little bit smaller and much lighter than that one. So let's unbox this one, switch over to the Sony ZV-E1 and test it out. You can test it out now in the middle of the day. I do not have my ND filter with me, so I will play around a little bit with S-Cinetone. I think we can get down to 100 ISO on that. So let's see what's in the box. This is a used one, so I hope it's in a great condition. It did say that it was almost brand new, but I will take a look on it. A Easter egg included. Always in need of candy. I would probably give it away to my son. He loves candy. Okay, let's open this up and see how the condition is on this one. Nice little bag. Wee. Okay, here we have a 20-70. I don't know if you can see. It's a little bit wider than my Tamron, but it's a lot shorter and it was not that heavy actually. Let's see the lens. It's in a really good condition. I would say almost brand new. Okay, here we have it. Let's put it on the ZV-E1 and start using this one. Perfect timing because the battery is really low on the Pocket 3, which I'm using right now. Okay, now we have some audio here. Cheers, guys. I did the whole video before testing out this lens, but we are on 20mm right now, S-Cinetone on the ZV-E1. I did not have the audio levels set up, so we have no audio from my last clips. I want to test it out a little bit now and show you a little bit of handheld vlogging and a little bit of zooming in with this lens outside. I don't have my ND filter with me, so I cranked up the shutter speed up to 200 to get the right exposure. I had ISO on 100, so this is the lowest I can go with the ISO. But let's try a little bit of handheld vlogging with this camera and lens on 20mm. Okay, so this is 20mm with the active stabilization in the Sony ZV-E1. I think this lens should be quite stable with this camera. So I'm walking a little bit of a normal walk here, handheld on a small tripod. So how shaky is this quality? This will probably work if you want to do that, but I will be using my Pocket 3 when I do stuff like this, walking and talking and vlogging. But with this camera and this lens, I will be having it a little bit more static, maybe do some B-roll shots, and sometimes talk to the camera as well, but then I will put it on a tripod or something so it can be still. But let's try out the zoom ranges and see how blurry the background is with this f4 lens. Okay, so we are at 20 millimeters right now, and this is handheld, so I will jump over to 24, 28, 35, 50, the last 70, hold on, I need to back up a little bit. And we can also do this in this camera. Boom, get a little bit closer. You can see on the screen that the background is nice and blurry, even with f4. So this is 70 millimeters. Let's jump back to 20 millimeters. Whoop. Okay, not bad, right? Let's get home, test it out indoors as well, and see how well it performs in low light. I will probably switch over to S-Log3, where I can set the ISO up to 12,800 and still get some nice quality video. So let's do that. Sorry about that, I forgot to bring out the camera yesterday, but it's a new day, we are indoors, I have no lights on. I have a little bit of daylight coming from the windows on this side. I'm overexposing it to 1.3 plus here. I have the ISO at 12,800 using my variable ND to take down the exposure. But this is how 20 millimeters looks with the f4. I will try to zoom in a little bit so you can see how it looks if I'm coming a little bit closer. Okay, so this is 35 millimeters. Yeah, it's like one arm's length away. So it's a really versatile lens. I really like it. I will try it out a little bit more in low light situation as well. I know that the ZV-E1 can go up to around 20,000 in ISO before it's getting too grainy, but I will try to stick at 640 and 12,800 using the S-Log3. But yeah, so far autofocus is working great. But the plan was to take you with me into town someday so I can show you around Old Town here in Stockholm and some of my favorite places around Stockholm city and film a little bit and do some vlogging like that. So having a versatile lens, hold on, okay, back at 20. Yeah, having a versatile lens like this will help me to catch a little bit more B-roll and the scenes I will be doing in that vlog. So if you want to see a little bit more of Stockholm, a little bit more of my vlogging, daily stuff, make sure to subscribe. Next step will be trying out a little bit more low light. So I will wait when the sun is coming down so we can go out and try out in a little bit more low light scenes and see how f4 works. Sorry, I had the dynamic active on, so this is more like 20 millimeters and this is 50. So the dynamic active stabilization is cropping in a lot. So this is a little bit more normal if you're having it on a tripod. I just wanted to show you that. But yeah, either way, it's a really versatile lens. Okay, so we are testing out something new here. I had the DJI Mic 2 and the lavalier here recording internally to the DJI mic. So let's see if this works. I will try to sync up the audio with the video, as I have this Sony ZV-E1 mic on top, so we can sync the audios from the lavalier mic to the video as well. I've been sick a couple of days with a sore throat, so I have not been testing out the camera or the lens lately, but I'm back at work now, so we're gonna test it a little bit more today. And we will probably go indoors where there is no light, limited of light, so we can test out the second base ISO and this f4 lens. I know it's not the best in low light, but I think it will be working with the second base ISO at 12,800. There will not be no light situation where it will be pitch black, because I don't film like that. So we're gonna try that out as well. Okay, let's try to get indoors and see how it works. Okay, I guess I can throw in some handheld vlogging as well. No tripod, just holding the camera on its lens and the ECM M1 mic on top. Walking here on an uneven surface, talking to the camera and see how shaky it is. And do you see any background blur holding like this? It's on 20mm with active stabilization on. Okay, so now we are indoors and I have no lights in this room except the window in front of me. I had ISO on 12,800, so my second base ISO on the ZV-E1. And so far, from what I'm seeing on the screen, I'm perfectly exposed and probably not too much noise either. Okay, let's see if we can zoom in to like 50 and see if we can get some background blur. Let's see where the zoom is. Okay, so this is 50mm on the zoom lens. I think we have some background blur. Maybe not as much as a 2.8 or 1.8. But my plan is to have this lens and maybe get myself a 16mm, the new Sony one, or get some small light prime lenses where I can do some product shooting with, or if I need to take a camera out when it's a little bit darker outside, I can put that lens on. But so far, testing out this lens has been actually quite good in all kind of situations. I even have my ND filter on right now, which I have turned around almost to 3 stops or something like that. So I still get plenty of light into this lens with this camera. And by the way, the last clips you have been seeing right now has been with the de-enhancer plugin in DaVinci Resolve to spice it up a little bit more than the original picture. Okay, I think we will be ending it right here. Ooh, that's enough testing. Time to do more fun videos. Let's start off with Old Town here in Stockholm. I will try to do it next week or something. So subscribe to the channel and like this video, and see you in the next one. Peace.